Yo, what's up, man? Tarkov has always had an incredible atmosphere and progression system, but for some players, PvP may just drown out the enjoyment of the game. Now hold the keyboards. Before you type out any crazy comments, just hear me out, so let's get straight into it, man. Alright, so let me clarify just to begin the video that I'm not saying PvE is better than PvP. I actually don't feel that way whatsoever. I think both game modes are pretty respective in their own categories. I actually play a bit of both. If you're a member on the channel, you can actually watch me play PvP. It's for members only, so click the button down below. But my main point here is like each game mode has their own different audiences. So people that play PvP and people that play PvE are two different type of people, and there's not one that's better than the other. But what I'll say about PvE is I feel like a lot of people that play PvE just like to slow the game down, so they actually get to like absorb the atmosphere. They get to learn maps like through repetition and actually exploring rather than like punishment and like dying to rats in D2, for example. And some people just don't want to put in the hours and the time to quote unquote get good, which shout out on my PvP players. I mean, that's a whole different skill set, so GG's, man. I will say the number one complaint that I get about PvP is cheaters, which in my experience, I have like 700 hours in the game. I have only encountered maybe 3 or 4 blatant cheaters. I know more cheaters exist in the game and they're not as blatant. They use ESP, but to be honest, that's not a primary focus of this video. It's not going to be a primary point in the video. I don't think cheaters are that big of an issue. I know that they're an issue. I'm not disregarding them, but I don't think it's enough to justify not playing PvP just based on the fact that there's cheaters, because there's cheaters in every single game. I think a lot of people tend to pick PvE as their primary game mode just because they can slow it down. They feel more immersed in the game. They enjoy looting and they enjoy the exploration of the maps without that constant fear that there's a Giga Chad lurking behind every single corner. PvE Tarkov feels more like a survival game rather than like an esport. PvE lets you slow it down. You're on your own type of time, and it's a completely different game. Now, I don't want to separate the community too much, so I know I'm probably gonna have PvP players and PvE players watching this. Just please do not argue in the comments. Just post your views respectfully. At the end of the day, the point of making these videos is not to divide the community. It's to give some insight on why PvE players may play that game mode or why you should maybe try it before judging so crucially, because I'm sure every PvE player has at least tried PvP one time, and maybe they decided it's not for them. So what if PvP players tried PvE at least one time, and maybe you can decide for yourself if it's not for you. There's two different type of audiences playing, and I feel like a lot of PvE players, at least the ones that are in my Discord, all have full-time jobs that just don't feel like grinding after the 9-to-5 grind at work. And I completely get it. I respect it. I'm the same way. I still do play PvP, but let's be honest, man. Whenever wipe hits, it's a race to progression. I know that there's a permanent league, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out with the seasonal as far as like population numbers on the servers. But anyway, let's get into the second point that I have to make, which is progression feels a little bit more respectful in PvE. In PvP Tarkov, sometimes it can feel like you queue, you die within like the first 2 to 5 minutes, you rebuild the kit, and then you repeat that same process over and over again. Obviously, with time, this improves. Like, you're going to start living more, you're going to win more gunfights. But initially, for the newer player, they're probably not going to have that much fun stuck in that same gameplay loop, which is kind of where PvE steps in because you obviously have less frustration from losing your kits like basically instantly. Also, quests become more enjoyable instead of like stressful. You know, if you don't want to go into dorms for a quest because it's so stressful, you know, some pretty good players are probably going to be pushing that. PvE, you don't really have that. You can also experiment with gear in PvE. So, I mean, even myself included, I've done this quite a bit. I've tested out guns, tested out different weapon builds. I don't normally use the RSAS in PvP. You see me in this video using it in PvE, and turns out I really like this gun. I had a conversation with one of my viewers, and one thing that really stuck out to me is when he said that he felt like he spent more time playing in PvE versus when he plays PvP, he spent more time actually rebuilding than he did actually enjoying the game. Now, I said this before in my why PvE Tarkov is winning video, but it's really training wheels. PvE Tarkov is a good set of training wheels for new players, and I know for a fact that some of these players are going to hop over to PvP because I've had members in my Discord mention multiple times that, you know, once they beat X quest or Y quest, they're going to hop into PvP because they feel like they're ready. Now, PvE Tarkov is not just for new players, but that brings me right into the next point, which is it's great for casual players. Not everyone can grind Tarkov 8 hours a day. I know that's not always the excuse. People are like, hey, I only have 3 hours and I run lab solo and, you know, I'm prestige 6. But realistically, that's not on everyone's schedule. Not everyone has that same skill set. You may just be cracked at video games. So it's easier to jump in after work, or like if you go to college or school, it's easier to hop in right after that as well. And there's no pressure to keep up with the wipe progression. It does not matter. You're on your own pace. You can level with friends. It really doesn't matter. And also, skill gap matters way less. I mean, yes, the AI will kill you if you're trash, but at the same time, you know, you don't have to worry about the Giga Chad lurking around the corner waiting for you to move, or him just W keying you and you just freezing up because you don't know what to do. PvE is just more forgiving for new players, and it's more forgiving for casual players because not everyone is mechanically inclined at the game. And I think it's a great opportunity for people to enjoy Tarkov for what it is, and maybe just hop into the occasional PvP raid and you get that adrenaline pumping. But for casuals, PvE Tarkov definitely respects your time a lot more than PvP would. For the next topic, I really just wanted to touch on the AI and how they could still make the raids memorable on PvE, because obviously in PvE we don't have the proximity chat, so there's no random moments in the raids, but the AI are, you know, different. Let's just put it that way. So they can still create some pretty fun moments. I know with me and my friends, we have some really memorable moments. The AI just completely bugging out and just like doing 360 circles and, you know, just doing brain dead activities. And it's still funny. You know what I mean? And the AI are progressively getting better. I'll give it to BSG. They now lean peek. They crouch. They lay down. They throw nades. They don't always voice line back at you. Like, they're slowly starting to go in the right direction. Very slowly, but they're doing it. And I mean, I've had scavs spawn in waves on interchange, and, you know, me and my friends are just taking out like 10, 20, 30 scavs. Like, it is wild. And then also, you can't forget when you just instantly get dome pieced by a random scav with a shotgun. I mean, dude, that is wild. But PvE Tarkov really just lets you play Tarkov your way. You know, some people want hardcore competition. They want that PvP, that just super grindy type of game. Some people just want immersion, progression, co-op, and, like, you know, they enjoy the mechanics and the look and the feel of Tarkov. So games don't always really need a winner and a loser to be fun. It's subjective. Everyone has fun in different ways. You may absolutely hate PvE. You may think it's the least fun thing in the world, but there's also guys out there that really love it and they really enjoy getting on PvE and they think it's the funnest thing in the world. So a game as detailed as Tarkov really doesn't need PvP to create tension or to create, you know, that hook, that addiction to the game. Because let's face it, anyone that plays Tarkov for like more than 100 hours, we're a little bit addicted. For the last point that I wanted to make in this video, because I don't want to keep rambling on, but I really wanted to bring up the fact that a lot of people comment and say this on my videos all the time, that PvE removes the point of Tarkov. It's not how you're supposed to play Tarkov. It's not even Tarkov, and so on. My response to this is, like, the appeal of Tarkov isn't only about killing other players. I know, like, for those of you that enjoy PvP, I get it, man. I love killing other players too. It gives you this rush, gives you this like low dopamine hit, and it's dope. But also, like, there's other things in the game, like the extraction mechanics, the economy, the risk and reward system, the tasking, the looting. There's all other systems in the game that really hook people. It's not just the player kills. So some people may prioritize those over PvP, like over killing other players. They may enjoy the game and the atmosphere, but they may not care as much about killing other players. Maybe bots are good enough for them, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's just a different style of fun. People also say, like, there's no stress, there's no tension in PvE, which isn't true, because tension can come from losing progress. I mean, obviously, I don't die like a ton in PvE. I die to bosses sometimes if I'm being real, but, you know, tension can come from losing the progress, not just like getting killed by another player. So there's still some risk and reward in PvE. Sure, it's not as drastic or dangerous as PvP, but, you know, some people just simply enjoy PvE more, and that's fine, man. I think, honestly, like, having a balanced outlook at it is the healthiest way to look at the game, at least for the community long term, because I play both. I respect both audiences. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing one or the other, or primarily one over the other. It's just, you know, it's all mindset, man. Like, if you enjoy PvP games, you'll enjoy PvP Tarkov. But also, PvE Tarkov is a different beast. It's very hard. It's very challenging. There's no one holding your hand telling you, like, you know, do this or go here. It's hard. It's challenging. It's painful. But it is also very fun. So if you play PvE and you've never tried PvP, please go in a couple raids, like 3 to 5 raids, and just play it, man. Don't care about the gear. Just go hunt down other players, and I'm promising you're gonna have some fun, man. Ultimately, PvE won't replace PvP for everyone, but it does reveal another side of Tarkov many players never get to enjoy or never got to enjoy. It's really less about competition and more about the immersion of the game, progression, and, like, survival. PvE Tarkov reminds you why Tarkov became interesting in the first place. The world it creates, the environment, the gun mechanics, the sound design, everything about it, the looting systems, is beautiful. It's a beautiful game. And PvE Tarkov basically just highlights all of that without the threat of other players. Anyway, that's my take on why you should try PvE Tarkov, but let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what game mode you primarily play. Are you a PvP player? Are you a PvE player? If you guys liked the video or you thought I made a couple good points, please drop me a like. It's completely free and it helps me out tremendously. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Helps me out a ton. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next raid.
Been on the road, chasing that paper you did. Cat, swag, trapping, they taking the notes. Spilling the sauce for the kid. Talking that shit get you wet. Nigga been certified, ain't in my ranks and shit. Hopping that wicked to smash. Nigga went skirt, out in my turbo the kid.